Welcome to the Yukon Artists at Work Gallery and our latest show, Once Upon a Time, by Heather Hyatt and myself, Janet Patterson, with a bit of help from our friends. Heather and I wanted to explore fairy tales, and in particular some of the darker aspects of fairy tales, because the original tales were certainly a lot darker than the sanitized versions you see today. So let's take a look at a few of the pieces. These were some witch brooms that I made with remnants from my garden. And this is Heather's woodland elf. Isn't she lovely? Over here is a pair of, I call them my dragon shoes. Shoes do show up quite a bit in my artwork. These ones were gifted to me. They were brand new Fluvog shoes, so designer shoes. It made me a little nervous working with them, but I was fairly pleased with how these turned out. Now, speaking of shoes, this piece is called The 12 Dancing Princesses, and it was a community effort. You can see that there are 12 molds of women's feet here, and it represents the story of the 12 princesses that would go out every night, dance the whole night through, and come back with worn out shoes, and the king couldn't figure out what was going on. They also have a backstory, which you'll have to come in to read the whole backstory because it takes more time than we have in this video. Here's my fairy tale pumpkin with 3 little mice. This was wet felted and needle felted. Heather's frog. This is Letter for the Queen. And then my little frog prince. Over here we have The Bookish Elf by Heather, and if you look really closely, you can see that this elf is reading Alice in Wonderland. And these shoes were made by me. In the original version of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, the wedding scene at the end, saw the wicked queen being forced to wear shoes that were heated until they were red hot, and she had to dance in them until she died. So these are my depiction of those shoes with all the horrible pointy bits. Can you imagine wearing those? Yikes! Let's see, what else can I show you? There's so much in this show. This one is called Iridessa by Heather, and the detail is quite extraordinary. Look at all that hand embroidery, the birds, the felting. So lovely. This is my Cinderella shoe that I made with more than 6,000 glass rhinestones. And of course, you can't have Cinderella's shoe without her dress. So here's a dress that I made. I found on the side of the road, just discarded, several chandeliers. And the crystals were still there, all intact. So I used some of them in this dress. Just a couple more I'll show you. This is Heather's version of the 3 pigs. And another pair of shoes. I call these my scorpion shoes. I do hope you can come see the show. It's on until the end of this month here at Yukon Artists at Work.